tutorial. If you guys remember, in the last tutorial we created a website that would allow us to basically enter your username and a login password and then redirect us to a session page. This was only done using fixed variables and not really the way it should be done by linking it to a database. So in today's tutorial we're going to be carrying on with linking it to a database so that we have a register interface as well. So first of all, what you want to do is go to XAMPP and turn on the Apache and SQL servers. Once you're done with that, you want to go ahead and click on the admin for the SQL, because that's where we're going to be managing the database for this system. Create a new database. I'm just going to call this trial system, and then we click on create. And then in this database we're going to create different tables that are going to store the information that we need. So the first table, we're going to store users, so the different users that are going to be registered on the server. So type in the username, the name of the table called users, and then click on go. Once we're done with that, we're going to create the different fields that are going to be stored in the table. So what we want to be stored is an ID that will automatically be incremented for every username that is selected. So the type is going to be integer, and go over to the AI auto increment and then click on tick it up and then click on go. So next what we're going to be saving is the username and password, and that's about it. So we'll be saving ID, username and password. In a real life login system, obviously you'll be saving more details about this and also like hashing the password so no one's able to crack it and stuff, but today I'm just going to keep it really simple because this tutorial is really intended for beginners. So what we're going to do is change this from integer type to either text or varchar. We can do whichever one you like. I prefer text personally. And then you can set a length if you like as well. So the username, I'm going to set a length of 50 and the password 30. Okay, so once we're done with that, we're going to click on save. And then as you see right here, we have a trial system database inside with one table, and it's called users. And we have ID, username and password. So what we want to do first of all is go over to our code from last time. If you haven't watched the last tutorial, I really recommend you do, because otherwise this wouldn't make sense. Link's going to be in the description. So in the last tutorial, as you know, we created a login page. So in this one we're going to create a register page as well within the same system. So this bit right here is the form that allows us to log in into the system, while we're also what we're gonna do is create another button down here. I'm going to do input type equals submit, name equals register start. Oops. And then the value is going to be equal to register, obviously. Okay, we're just going to do a br. Okay, so now if you go over to localhost, my folder is called login and register. Wait, oops. So if I go over there, as you see right here, oops. As you see right here, we have another button called register, and we have a button called login. Both of them don't have any actions assigned to them because I've taken off the code which I had from last tutorial. So when we click on this, essentially what it should do is take this information, check if a user already exists with this name in our database. If he does, it shouldn't allow that username to be used again, and if he doesn't, it should register the user. So that's what should happen. And if user clicks on login, it should just log him into the account, checking if the account exists, obviously. So what we would want to do first of all is do the if set statement. So we're going to do if set is a post. So if the event of a post happens, and if the value that is submitted equals register start, then what we're going to do is we're going to grab the username, $post username, and also we're going to grab the password. So we're just going to copy this over again and paste it right here. So what these two lines of code are going to do is they're going to grab the username and password, which is going to be posted from these input boxes once the login button is pressed, and it's going to save them into the username and password variable. So we're just going to tag this as register so that it's going to be different to the login variable we're going to create later. Once that's done, what you want to do is start a MySQL connection. So MySQL connect localhost, because that's where the server's running. Wait a second. Localhost, and the user is going to be the root user, and the password is none. Okay. Once you're done with the connection, what you want to do next is select the database. So MySQL, select database. The database name was system trial. Okay. Just gonna check that again. Yeah, it's trial system actually, so just the other way around. Okay. Now that we've connected to the database and we've selected the right database, we're gonna write a query. So we're gonna do MySQL dot in query and in the query what we're going to do is we're going to select star from table of users. So star means everything. Select everything from users where username, which is this, we're referencing to this right now, where username equals the variable username that we've saved up here. So we're saying select any information that where from the table users where the username, the field right here, is equal to the username that we just submitted. Okay, and then we're going to call this variable request. Okay, once we're done with that, we're going to do MySQL numRows request. Right. And then we're going to say results. So what we've just done is we've created another variable called result, and what this variable is going to do is it's going to grab the amount of rows for this request. So let's say there is one username which equals the username we've just entered. It's going to return 1. If there's none, it's going to return none. If there's 2, obviously it's going to return 2. So what we're essentially doing is checking whether the given username, which is entered into the field here, already exists within the table, so that it doesn't get overwritten. So we're going to write an if condition based on that. Actually, we're just going to test this first. So echo result. Let's do a quick refresh on the page, and we'll do register. Undefined variable and username z on 26. Oh, so there was a mistake right there. So it's reg username, not just username. Refresh again. And as we see right here, when we click on register, there's 0 users registered with that name. So if we go ahead and insert a record manually into the system, insert, and the username is going to be this one right here. Just copy that over here. Username, passwords. Oh god. Okay, it doesn't want to copy for some reason. There we go. Password's going to be 123, and the ID should automatically do its job. So once we're done with that, we're going to go back to users. As you see right here, we now have the username admin@iss.co.uk and a password. So now when we try to click on register, it should return 1, because obviously there's one record in the database with that username. So now based on this concept, we're going to write an if condition in the code. So instead of echoing result, what we're going to do is we're going to say if the result is less than 1, so if it's obviously 0, then we're going to say we're going to write a query that's going to insert the username and password into the database so that the user will have an account. So we're going to do MySQL query insert into users values reg username. We need single quotes as well, I think. Reg username, comma, reg password, and we're just going to do a blank one for the ID so that it just ignores it automatically. Okay, it needs to be in the same order, otherwise things might get messed up. So once we're done with that query, you're just going to close that, and then we're going to write the else statement. So if obviously by any chance there isn't any, so if the result is on 0, that means there's no record. I mean, if it's 1 or greater than 1, obviously there is a record. So we're just going to say echo account with this username already exists. Okay, time for a quick check. I'm going to refresh. Account with this username already exists, and now we're going to try to sign up using a different account name. Just click on that again. Not going to change anything. So if we try to log in using this, which hasn't been registered yet, it refreshes. And now if we go to, I just want to get rid of this for now, so I'm just going to go into incognito and try accessing it really quickly. Login and register. Okay, that's perfect. I'm just going to close this down, copy, because it keeps pushing in the password. That's why it's a bit annoying. So now what we're going to do is go and check. So as you see right here, since we didn't have a user based on this username, so Johan Godinho, it automatically incremented the user into the system. And if we try logging in with the same username again, so Johan Godinho, if you try that, if you click on register, it should say your account with this username already exists. So if we do a new username like this, it's just gonna create the account. And if we go back and refresh, as you see right here, it's created the account. So when it does create the account, we just need to say echo account has been created, right? So now that that's sorted, what we want to do next is we're going to go on to the login sessions. So we're going to say else if this set is $post login start, I think it is, yeah, it's login start. If that's the case, then we're going to grab the username and password again. I'm just going to copy and paste this because there's no point of typing it again, and then just take off the reg. Okay, and then we move on to making an SQL connection, so we can just copy this again. Okay, this as well. So we're literally just repeating the procedure here. This is quite a short form of code because we're not using any security measures and stuff, just so that it's easy for you guys to understand. So what we're doing here again is we're taking a request, we're making a request, so we're going to call this login request instead, and then we're going to call this the login result and change that to login. I mean, you can keep the same variable names, but I just prefer to change them up. So we're going to say select from users where username equals, change this to the username variable, and we also need to add a statement and say and password equals the password variable. Now we're verifying the password as well. So now the login result, if it equals 1, that means that the login has succeeded. If not, that means the password's wrong, obviously. So we're going to do a concept based on that. So we say if login results is greater than 1, let's say if it's less than 1, which means it has failed, then we say echo incorrect username or password, right? And else, that means the password is correct. We're just gonna do a redirect. So we're gonna use a header tag to redirect the user, a meta. So I'm just gonna paste that in. So what this is gonna do is redirect the user to the correct page. So username, I'm just gonna get rid of this. So it's going to redirect the user to something called session.php, which was another blank type of file we just created last time in the last tutorial. We're going to pass the information about the username being obviously username onto the next page too. So let's just save this and quickly rerun it. I'm just going to run this again, refresh. Account with this username already exists. So okay, we're going to type in, we're going to create a new legit account. So johan123, and the password's going to be 123. Register. Account has been created. Okay. johan123, and I'm going to put the wrong password. Login. Incorrect username or password. Okay. johan123, and then we put 123. And as we see right here, the system's working perfectly fine right now. So based on obviously the database and the linking PHP code, it's verifying whether the username or password is already existing in the system, and then allowing you to register, and also later on allowing you to log in simply using the simple script that we've created within this tutorial. Obviously it's missing a lot of security concepts like using MD5 and stuff to hash the passwords, but we can look into that in a future tutorial, as well as obviously styling issues which haven't been included in this, because I just wanted to keep it as basic and simple for you guys as possible. Anyway guys, hope I was able to help you during this tutorial. I look forward to helping you out even further. If you type your problems in the comment sections or any errors that you have. The next tutorial is going to be about styling this website a bit more to make it look more suitable and similar to a login site and register site. So stay tuned for that, as well as the other tutorials that are going to follow about PHP. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.